Contact has been made. So the Doctor and Leela take on the invisible enemy. No, not that one. Yeah. Great times, huh? So, yeah, the invisible enemy, in which Doctor Who borrows from Fantastic Voyage. Remember that? Raquel Welch and all that. A lot of shows and what have you deal with this. Probably Interspace did it the best. But it's always rather silly. And in here, the Doctor goes inside his brain because he's cloned and does it. And then he's in his mind, he says. With the stuff floating around in it. But it's a Time Lord brain, so I don't know. Was that going on in Morbius's brain while he was in that bucket? I don't know. But anyway, this following Horror at Fang Rock, boy, this is in a lot of ways a letdown. There's some cheesiness about it, but it's very significant because it introduces, of course, K9. And they really were looking for different types of companions. First they had Leela, which kind of breaks the mold. And then here's this robot dog. Which, for toy sales is a great idea. And became a staple for quite a while and is one of those things that remains, along with the police box and Tom Baker's scarf, as a staple of Doctor Who long after it's been gone, Now, this is the original K9, not the second one that the Doctor builds. And then I guess there's a third one that he sent to Sarah, I guess if you count that. And I guess, yeah, you do. And then, of course, the second one, that one ends up with Romana. And I guess when Romana goes back to Gallifrey to be lady president, the K9 goes with her. I don't know if she figured out how to get him out of E-Space. I don't know. Can't remember. Anyway, here he is. And I'm guessing that K9's knowledge of all kinds of things in the universe and whatnot, how could he have it when he's limited to the year 5000 here, which of course is far in advance of our own knowledge, but nevertheless he seems to know an awful lot about the galaxy and all the universe and everything in later episodes. But you can chalk that up to his connection with the TARDIS. He would be able to communicate with the computers there and broaden his library. So that's all well and good. There are things about this that I like. I like the idea of showing, of course, didn't have the effects at the time. The updated effects for, K9's, nose laser it's much better and stuff, and that looks cool. The original, not so much, but yeah, it's what they had. But even so, I still liked the little space shuttles that do look like the space shuttle a lot, predates them too. Flying through the asteroids and all that. I just always liked it. I like the space suits, and I actually like the little handguns they have. They're a little weird. But those things, and didn't mind the space hospital and all that. But boy, oh boy, the villain, as it ends in the end, looking like a giant shrimp. The swarm. He keeps tossing his little claws back and forth. I don't know. But the business of going into the doctor's body to fight the disease, yeah, I can certainly understand it to a certain extent, but how could he find his way? Now he has Leela with him, but she's a hunter and she can find a way. It's a bit much. Maybe they should have redone it where there was a means by which to challenge the creature on the mental level, and that the doctor had to project himself into his mind and whatnot. But I don't know. But thing here is the doctor was cloned, and hey, he and Leela's patterns are probably still. Hey, could be another, if they figured out how to stabilize them so they didn't, because they could only last for 10 minutes. But the biggest mistake is, they should have been completely nude when they. Now you couldn't do it, but you fix the box in there where you can only see their heads, and then they give them the uniforms that they had at the hospital, some space scrubs, and there you go. You would solve the problem right there. But but then people wouldn't recognize him. Yeah, they would. Speaking of that, there's a funny scene where Leela sees her clone self and asks K9, do I really look like that? Yeah. And she's, I don't know, a little let down. I don't know why. It's a pretty woman. But anyway, there's also the aspect that Leela can't be infected by the swarm, so contact is not made. And she's, the reason being is they say, well, she's just not that intelligent. Now, look, granted, she's ignorant, but she figures stuff out, so her brain does work. She's intelligent. She just doesn't know a lot of stuff. There's a difference, you see. Well, what are you going to do? So, there's a lot of weakness to it. There's effects used here for the doctor walking around in his brain or mind, or however you want to put it, which you'll see again in Underworld, and well, it was probably done better here than it will be in there, but what are you going to do? There are some little tidbits here and there where the doctor talks about how there's a certain mind unity of Time Lords that he can no longer establish because he was kicked out. And this is kind of like, well, I thought he left of his own will, but was he kicked? I don't know. Or does that mean because he left and violated their rules and whatnot, stealing the TARDIS and all that, that he can no longer make that connection because, he was kicked out. Boy, that's funny. He didn't find anything in there about being a timeless child from another universe. No, didn't find anything like that. How about that, huh? So, because it wasn't there. So they win. There's really no opportunity for there to be discovered that the clones somehow survived. They didn't. They're ash. Well, a lock of hair is left. So there's that. And then there's the strange paradox, I guess, because Leela, her immunity is now within the doctor's system. They're able to synthesize a vaccine, and based on her, since these people are her ancestors, so she actually inherited the immunity, but it was from her. But but hey, that's time travel, and the doctor's like, oh well, should have done something about that, I guess, but nah. And the thing of it is that they didn't need to, because Leela says, hey, why don't we just blow up the Titan base where the swarm's having their eggs? And the doctor says, that's always a solution to everything. So he wants to use the antibodies, which would have killed the swarm enough, but I guess he was trying to save the infected crew, and he could restore them the way he did Professor Marius here. And but he tries, but he can't do it. And he gets attacked by the guy Lowell, was one of the guys who got infected, who was actually trying to help him out. And then, poor bastard, if you stare at him, you get infected. Yeah. If you stare at your screen, you get infected. Boy, I tell you, it's really tough. But so he ends up blowing it up. Now, for plot points and the doctor being in a bad position and having to do it, okay, but then they sort of laugh it off at the end, and the doctor literally laughs at the thing blowing up when he was dead set against it. It's not consistent with his morality. I mean, he ends up having to do it, and I mean, in the end, Leela was right. So much for being stupid, huh? And but for her to want to do it, you can understand it, but for the doctor sitting there, look at that, huh? That was a good idea of mine, wasn't it, K9? And then later, well, it was my idea. Yeah, well, you should be surprised. Yeah, it just doesn't work, So, I don't know. They kind of lost the point here. So it's a much weaker episode than something like Fang Rock. But all in all, there's stuff I like about it, and of course you get K9. But yeah, that's about. And the professor, the 1 minute his K9's my best friend, but I can't bring him with me, so take him. They probably should have had it that the professor died, and that K9 had no other purpose or whatnot, and so Leela's taken with the dog, and so they let's go, But again, probably dropped the ball on that too. But anyway, there you go. K9 is now part of the crew, and We'll see what happens next time for Doctor Who.
Alright, thank you for watching and listening. Why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you. You know, hats, mugs, stickers, posters, all that goody stuff. Plus, you can head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book Night Night. Oh, yeah. Plus, you can also catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on my channel at BitChute. That's the Mr Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.